This video is about she was his destiny, but her father wanted him dead. If this story captivates you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. The moon hung low in the sky, its silver glow casting ghostly shadows among the towering pines of the darkwood forest. Beneath its watchful gaze, a lone wolf stood on the ridge, his deep amber eyes scanning the horizon. Riker, the alpha of the Nightshade pack, felt an ancient pull within him, a whisper of destiny that tingled along his spine. "Tonight is the night," he murmured, the words barely escaping his lips. "I can feel her." His pack, loyal and fierce, gathered behind him, their anticipation palpable. Each wolf felt the weight of his resolve, the electric tension crackling in the air. For months, they had heard the whispers of a rival pack, the Silver Moon clan, led by a father who sought to extinguish any threat to his daughter's future. "What if he catches wind of our plans?" whispered Caleb, Riker S. Bader, his brow furrowed with worry. "Fenton won't he hesitate to strike?" "Fenton is a coward," Riker replied, his voice steady. "He hides behind threats, but this is about more than territory, it's about fate. I will claim her as my mate." The pack stirred, some sharing anxious glances. The weight of Riker's words hung heavily. To declare a mate was to invite both joy and peril. Yet Riker knew that destiny had woven their fates together long before they took their first breath. As the moon climbed higher, Riker felt the urgency swelling within him. His heart raced, a primal rhythm that resonated through the woods. He took a deep breath, inhaling the scent of pine and earth, mingled with the soft fragrance of wildflowers. But then, another scent edged its way into his senses, a sweet, intoxicating aroma that sent shivers down his spine. "Do you smell that?" he asked, his eyes widening. The pack quieted, inhaling. "Is it her?" Caleb's voice was barely above a whisper, all mingled with fear. "Lyra," Riker breathed. "It is Lyra." In the depths of the forest, unseen by those who would harm her, Lyra ran with a grace that belied her delicate frame. She was of the Silvermoon clan, but her heart belonged to the Nightshade pack. As the daughter of Alpha Fenton, she had been raised to distrust Riker and his kind, yet something deeper stirred within her, bond that defied the divisions of their worlds. "Fenton will never allow it," Lyra's mind raced as she darted through the trees. "I can't let him keep me from my destiny." Her heart ached for Riker, the Alpha she had met in secret, under the watchful eye of a moon that seemed to conspire in their favor. They had shared stolen moments, warm laughter, heated glances, and electric touches that ignited a fire within her. But each encounter had always ended with the bitter taste of danger. Lyra halted at the edge of a clearing, the moonlight spilling over her like a silken veil. "Riker," she whispered, her breath catching as she caught sight of him. He stood tall and commanding, every inch the Alpha she had come to admire. "Lyra," he called, his voice a low rumble that stirred something primal within her. "You came." Their eyes met, and the world around them faded away. The tension that had built between them sparked into life, igniting a passion that felt both exhilarating and terrifying. "I had to see you," she replied, stepping closer. "But what if my father discovers I am here? I'll never accept this." "Your father will not stop me." Riker took a step forward, his wolf instincts urging him to claim her. "You belong with me. We are destined." "And not like this," Lyra stammered, her heart pounding. "You know the dangers. I'll hunt you. I will not be afraid of what he can do." Riker's words were fierce, unwavering. "You and I are bound by the moon's magic, Lyra. We cannot ignore what we feel." The air crackled between them, and for a heart-stopping moment, Lyra felt the truth of his words. She closed her eyes, allowing herself to be enveloped in the warmth of his presence. "But if we are discovered, it could mean war." "Then let them come." Riker reached for her, his fingers brushing against her cheek. "I would face 100 battles for you. You are worth the risk." Tears sprang to Lyra's eyes as she fought the turmoil within her. She longed to surrender to the pull of their bond, to embrace a future that beckoned with promise and passion. Yet the thought of her father's wrath loomed like a dark cloud. "Would Auntie make this harder?" "Riker," she pleaded, her voice trembling. "I can't bear to see you hurt because of me." His expression softened, the fierce Alpha giving way to the vulnerable man beneath. "You are not a burden, Lyra. You are my mate, my other half. We are meant for each other." A soft breeze rustled the leaves, carrying whispers of their shared dreams. But just as hope blossomed, the distant sound of howling echoed through the woods, a warning, a threat. Riker stiffened, his senses heightened. "Caleb," he called, his voice sharp. "We have company." No sooner had the words left his lips than a cacophony of growls erupted from the shadows. Dark figures emerged, a mix of wolves from the Silvermoon clan, led by none other than Fenton himself, his eyes blazing with fury. "Lyra!" Fenton's voice boomed, harsh and commanding. "What have you done?" Panic surged within Lyra as she turned to Riker, her heart racing. "I didn't mean to." "Step away from her, Riker," Fenton growled, his voice low and deadly. "You dare to defy me?" In that moment, the world narrowed to a singular focus, the threat before them. Riker's protective instinct surged to the forefront. "She is my mate, Fenton. You cannot take her away." "Mate?" Fenton spat, venom lacing his words. "You think I'll let you ruin her life with your savage ways? I will never allow it." Lyra felt a rush of anger rise within her. "Father, stop. You don't understand it." "Silence!" Fenton thundered, his voice filled with authority. The wolves around him bristled, ready to pounce at his command. But Riker stepped forward, unyielding. "I will not back down, Fenton. Lyra chooses her own path. You cannot control her." The tension reached a boiling point, the air thick with unspoken rage and fear. Lyra stood between them, torn between loyalty to her father and the undeniable bond with Riker that felt like a force of nature. "Choose Lyra," Fenton demanded, his eyes narrowing. "Choose your family, or this fool who will drag you into darkness." Heart pounding, Lyra felt the weight of the world on her shoulders. "I cannot choose," she cried, feeling the tears spill over. "I love Riker, but I don't want to lose you." Fenton's expression twisted in anger, his claws extending as he moved closer, ready to strike. "Then you leave me no choice, daughter. If you will not come home, I will ensure he suffers for taking you from me." Riker's gaze darkened, a fierce growl rumbling in his chest. "I will protect her with my life." And at that moment, as the moon bore witness to the collision of destinies, Lyra felt a surge of magic, an ancient bond that tied her to Riker, stronger than blood, stronger than fear. "No," she shouted, stepping forward to stand beside Riker. "I choose love, I choose my destiny." The forest seemed to hold its breath, a moment suspended in time as the fates of wolves and packs hung in the balance. Would love prevail against the tides of anger and fear, or would the bonds of family tear them apart? In the heart of the darkwood forest, under the watchful gaze of the moon, the battle for their love had only just begun. Lyra's heart thundered in her chest as she stood beside Riker, defiance coursing through her veins. The air crackled with tension, the scent of danger sharp and overwhelming. Fenton's eyes smoldered with rage, an inferno of paternal wrath and betrayal. "Foolish girl," he spat, his words cutting through the night. "You've chosen the wolf who will bring ruin to our clan. You think love is enough. It is a fleeting spark that will leave you in ashes." "Love is more than just a spark," Lyra shot back, her voice trembling but fierce. "It is a force that binds us, that makes us stronger. Riker understands me, he sees me for who I am, not as a pawn in a game." Fenton narrowed his gaze, his posture menacing. "You are my daughter, and you will follow my will. Your loyalty lies with your family, not with a rival pack. I am not a possession to be traded." Lyra cried, her voice rising above the howling wind. "You always wanted me to be your perfect daughter, but I cannot live for you any longer. I deserve my own path." The pack behind Fenton shifted anxiously, sensing the storm brewing. Riker's eyes, fierce and unwavering, locked onto Lyra's. He wanted to take her away, to protect her from all harm, but the battle within her was far from over. A long silence stretched between them, thick with unresolved emotions and the weight of unspoken fears. But then, a low growl broke the stillness. Caleb stood protectively beside Riker, his gaze fierce and resolute. "Fenton," Caleb said, his voice steady, "you need to understand that Lyra has chosen. You may have raised her under your beliefs, but she is her own wolf now." Fenton's face twisted in contempt. "You dare speak to me like that, traitor. You stand with an enemy, with the wolf who will bring chaos to our doorstep." Riker stepped forward, his presence commanding. "It is not chaos to love, Fenton. It is chaos to deny the truth of what is meant to be. I will not let you take her away." "Enough!" Fenton roared, his voice cutting through the night air like a blade. "You think you can protect her? Your pack is weaker than you believe. I could crush you both." But Lyra took a step forward, her heart swelling with courage. "I will not let you threaten him. Riker is my mate. We are bound by fate, and no amount of your anger can change that." "Mate?" Fenton scoffed, disbelief etched into his features. "You want to be mated to a savage. He is nothing without his pack, and you will be nothing without me." Lyra felt the fury boiling inside her, fueled by years of fighting for her freedom. "I am not your possession, father. I refuse to be a pawn in your endless game of power. I will stand by Riker's side, no matter what it takes." Fenton's expression darkened, and the shadows cast by the moonlight deepened around him. Then you have chosen your fate, Lyra. You will regret this. With a swift motion, he turned, barking orders to his pack. Surround them. We cannot let this continue. Riker will pay for this transgression. The Silvermoon wolves moved in unison, their eyes glinting with feral intent. Riker's instincts roared to life as he positioned himself in front of Lyra, ready to defend her at all costs. Stay back, Lyra, he growled, his voice low and filled with warning. I want tea, she shouted back, determination flaring within her. I am not afraid. I'll fight for us. As the pack closed in, Riker felt the weight of the moment settle on his shoulders. The bond he shared with Lyra pulsated with energy, urging him to act. We fight together, Lyra. Together, we can break the chains that bind us. In that moment, the moon shone brighter, illuminating the clearing and igniting the magic that lurked within the forest. Lyra felt a surge of power welling up inside her, a connection to the ancient forces that governed the world. Riker, she whispered, eyes wide with realization, the bond we share, it is stronger than I thought, it is calling to me. Let it guide you, Lyra, he urged, his voice a soothing balm amidst the chaos. Embrace it, our love is our strength. As Fenton's pack lunged forward, Lyra closed her eyes, focusing on the pulsing magic that coursed through her veins. She felt Riker beside her, his presence grounding her amidst the storm. Together, we are unstoppable, she breathed, opening her eyes to meet his fierce gaze. A wave of energy enveloped them, shimmering with an otherworldly light. As they stood together, the forest seemed to respond, rustling leaves swirling in a dance of power. Now! Riker shouted, his voice rising above the growls. With a surge of adrenaline, they lunged towards Fenton's pack. Lyra could feel the energy between them crackle like electricity, driving her forward. She was no longer the frightened daughter of an alpha, she had become a warrior, a force of nature. The clash of wolves erupted as the two packs collided, but Lyra fought with a ferocity she had never known. The bond she shared with Riker lent her strength, guiding her movements as she danced through the chaos. Lyra, watch out! Riker's voice rang out as a Silvermoon wolf lunged for her. Instinctively, she sidestepped, her movements fluid as Riker's presence flooded her with courage. Behind you, she warned, just as she caught sight of Fenton charging towards Riker, rage etched into his features. Bark off. Their eyes locked, and in that moment, they understood. They were not just fighting for themselves, they were fighting for each other, for a future that seemed bright even amidst the darkness. As Fenton approached, Riker felt his instincts scream for dominance. I won't let you hurt her, he growled, muscles calling as he prepared to battle. Fenton's eyes narrowed, his voice laced with contempt. You are a fool to challenge me, boy. I will destroy you for this betrayal. Go, I will handle him. Lyra shouted, a voice filled with a fierce determination that echoed in the clearing. Nah. Riker protested, but she stepped forward, the magic enveloping her like a cloak. I am not afraid of my father. I am not afraid of you, she declared, her voice steady. You will not control me any longer. With a powerful howl, Lyra felt the magic within her surge, and a brilliant light erupted from her, illuminating the darkened forest. The shadows receded as energy pulsed from their bond, creating a barrier that protected Riker from Fenton's wrath. The world seemed to hold its breath as Lyra faced her father, defiance shining in her eyes. I choose my destiny, father. I choose love. With a roar of frustration, Fenton lunged. But the barrier held strong, shimmering with the force of their connection. Lyra's heart raced, knowing that this was only the beginning. As the clash continued, she could feel Riker fighting alongside her, their spirits entwined. The magic surged around them, pulling them closer, their destinies intertwined as one. Together, they shouted, their voices harmonizing in a powerful declaration of their love. The night echoed with the intensity of their bond, a promise that could not be broken. Their fight was far from over, but as they faced the challenges ahead, they knew one thing: love was a force that transcended all. In that moment, under the watchful gaze of the moon, they were no longer just wolves of rival packs. They were destined mates, bound by a love that would withstand the trials of fate and forge a new path together. The night was dark, but their love shone like a beacon, guiding them into the unknown. Lyra's heart raced as the shimmering barrier pulsed around her, a cocoon of magic that shielded her from her father's wrath. She could feel the energy of the night vibrating in her veins, a tangible reminder of the bond she shared with Riker. Lyra! Riker shouted, urgency lacing his voice. You have to focus. Don't let him break your concentration. I won't, she replied fiercely, her voice steady despite the chaos surrounding them. I can feel the magic, Riker. It is telling me I am stronger than this. Fenton, his eyes ablaze with fury, snarled through clenched teeth. You think this pathetic barrier will protect you? You're a traitor, Lyra, and traitors do not prosper in this world. Stop hiding behind your threats, Fenton. Riker growled, his muscles taut with tension. You've raised your daughter to fear love, but she has chosen. You can control her destiny. A feral snarl erupted from Fenton, and he lunged forward, the barrier flickering momentarily as the bond strained under his force. You are weak. Just like your mother, I will not let you destroy everything I've rebuilt. The words struck Lyra like a dagger, sending a wave of pain through her chest. Don't you dare speak of her, she cried, her heart aching at the mention of her mother. She loved fiercely, and you killed that love with fear and power. Fenton hesitated, his expression twisting as though her words had reached a hidden part of him. But then, rage surged anew within him. Enough, you will pay for this defiance. He charged again, his strength formidable, but the barrier held, fueled by the force of Lyra and Riker's love. Lyra, think of our bond. Riker urged, his voice breaking through the tempest. It is our love that strengthens the barrier, focus on that. Breathing deeply, Lyra closed her eyes, feeling the warmth radiate from Riker beside her. She envisioned their moments together, the stolen glances, the laughter shared beneath the stars, the whispers of dreams exchanged in secret. Each memory fueled the magic within her. Together, she murmured, opening her eyes, their color shining with determination. We were stronger together. With renewed resolve, Lyra drew from the depths of her heart, willing the barrier to grow. The light expanded, wrapping around her father and the Silvermoon wolves like a luminous veil. Fenton recoiled, momentarily blinded by the brilliance. Lyra, he shouted, fury and disbelief mingling in his voice. You are making a grave mistake. I am making the right choice, she declared, her voice resonating with clarity. You've spent years preparing me to follow your path, but I choose my own, I choose love. With a powerful howl that echoed through the night, she channeled the magic into the barrier, sending ripples of light cascading outward. The Silvermoon wolf stumbled, confusion washing over them as the air thickened with an otherworldly energy. Retreat! Fenton barked, his authority shaken. We regroup, this is not over. But as he spoke, the forest quaked beneath the intensity of their bond. Lyra and Riker stood firm, the connection between them pulsating like a heartbeat. No, Riker said, his voice low and commanding. This is just the beginning. Before Fenton could respond, Lyra felt the magic surge thrumming through her as she and Riker moved as one. Their bodies, entwined in a dance of power and love, glowed with ethereal light, creating a space where the darkness could not intrude. And then, with one united roar that unleashed the energy they had cultivated, the barrier erupted, sending waves of light crashing against the Silvermoon wolves, forcing them back. Lyra's heart soared as she felt the weight of her destiny shift. We did it, she exclaimed, adrenaline coursing through her. Yes, Riker grinned, his eyes alight with pride and fierce affection. But we have to keep moving. Fenton will come at us again, and we must be ready. As the chaos around them began to settle, Lyra took a moment to breathe, the warmth of Riker's presence grounding her. What if he tries to come at us again? She asked, her voice trembling slightly. We'll face him together, Riker replied, taking her hands in his, their fingers interlacing perfectly. You are not alone in this fight. You are my mate, Lyra, and I will protect you with everything I have. The sincerity in his gaze sent a rush of warmth through her, but doubt flickered like a candle in the wind. What if he manages to turn the pack against us? I can bear the thought of losing you or being the reason harm befalls your pack. Riker's expression softened, and he cupped her face in his hands. You are not the reason for any pain, love. Your heart is pure, and your choice is brave. We'll find a way to unite our packs to show them that love is stronger than fear. Lyra felt a swell of hope at his words, but the weight of their challenges loomed large in her mind. But how? Fenton has instilled so much fear within his pack. They want to easily accept our bond. Then we will show them, Riker said, determination etching his features. We'll challenge Fenton, not just for our love, but for the future we both deserve. We'll make them see what true strength looks like. She nodded, feelings of resolve blending with the fierce love she had for him. Together, always together. As they turned to face the remnants of the Silvermoon pack, Lyra caught sight of Fenton retreating into the shadows, his fury simmering just beneath the surface. The battle may have been won, but she knew the war was far from over. Lyra, Riker said, breaking her thoughts as he surveyed the pack around them, a sense of urgency in his voice. We need to rally the Nightshade. They need to know the truth. Yes, she agreed, her pulse quickening. We can let the fear take root. We must show them that love can break the chains of tradition. With Riker leading the way, they began to gather the Nightshade wolves, calling for unity amidst the uncertainty. One by one, pack members emerged from the shadows, uncertainty etched across their faces. "We have fought together for years," Riker began, his voice steady and powerful. "But tonight, we face a greater battle, not just for territory, but for love that defies the darkness threatening to surround us." Murmurs rippled through the pack, eyes dotting between Riker and Lyra as they stood united. "You mean to say," one wolf, a burly male named Garrett, challenged, "that you would ally with the Silvermoon pack? They are our enemies." "They are not enemies, but family," Riker countered firmly. "Lyra is my mate, and together we will bring both packs into a future that is free from fear. We can learn from each other, share our strengths, and forge a bond that will make us unbreakable." "Lyra?" Garrett's gaze shifted to her, uncertainty etched across his features. "You speak of love, but can love truly bridge the divide? Fenton wants to accept this." "I understand the risks," Lyra said, meeting his gaze with unwavering resolve. "But I will no longer live in fear of my father Ezra. Our love is worth fighting for, and I believe we can create a new legacy together." As the whispers faded, she felt the weight of their doubt resting on her shoulders, but there was also a glimmer of hope. "We can let fear dictate our paths. Together, we can redefine what it means to be wolves." The crowd began to murmur, uncertainty still lingering in the air. But Riker stood firm, his eyes sparkling with determination. "Who will join us?" One by one, wolves stepped forward, their expressions shifting from doubt to courage as they felt the weight of their collective past lift. "We will stand with you, Alpha," Caleb said, his voice ringing strong. Lyra felt a rush of gratitude, her heart swelling as the pack rallied behind them. She turned to Riker, their eyes meeting with the promise of a shared future. Together, they whispered in unison, the bond between them glowing brighter than ever, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As the moon hung above them, casting its silvery light upon the gathering, Lyra knew their journey was only beginning. With love as their anchor and destiny as their guide, they would forge a new path, one where hearts could converge, and love would forever transcend the darkness. Lyra's heart was a tempest of emotions as she stood before the nightshade pack, their murmurs wrapping around her like a gauzy veil. She could feel the weight of their eyes, some filled with hope, others shadowed by doubt. Riker stood beside her, his presence both fierce and reassuring, radiating strength as he faced the pack. "Love can conquer fear and unite us," he called out, his voice smooth like honey yet imbued with a primal force. "But we need to fight for a future where our children, both Silvermoon and Nightshade, can run freely under the same moon, without the threat of violence." Lyra's heart soared at his words, yet her knees gnawed at her. "But what if Fenton retaliates? What if he tries to tear us apart again?" she whispered to Riker, fear creeping in like a shadow. "He will try," Riker replied, his amber eyes blazing with determination. "But we won't give in. We LL stand together. You and I are stronger than any threat he can muster." The crowd began to shift, whispers rising in a crescendo of uncertainty. "Can we truly trust the Silvermoon wolves?" Garrett pressed again, skepticism coloring his tone. "Fenton has poisoned their minds against us." Lyra stepped forward, emboldened by Riker's unwavering confidence. "We must break the cycle of fear," she implored, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "I know the Silvermoon wolves are not our enemies. It is their Alpha who has been blinded by power. I believe we can change their hearts." "But how?" another wolf in the crowd asked, his brow furrowed. "Fenton won't just accept this." "Then we will show him," Riker interjected, his voice rising with authority. "We will challenge him, not just for our love, but for the very essence of what it means to be wolves. It has time to confront the past and redefine the future." A ripple of energy swept through the pack, igniting the flickers of hope. Lyra felt her heart swell as eyes turned toward her, wondering if she could bridge the chasm between their worlds. "I will go to the Silvermoon clan tomorrow," she declared, her voice ringing with conviction. "I'll speak to them. I'll show them that love transcends the fear Fenton has instilled." Riker's gaze bore into hers, a mixture of pride and concern. "You don't have to do this alone. I'll go with you." "No." Lyra shook her head, determination hardening her resolve. "This is my fight too. I have to face my father, and I need to do it on my own terms. I refuse to be seen as a weak link." "Lyra," he started, but she silenced him with a look. "I need you to rally our pack," she insisted. "I need you to bring them together to prepare for whatever comes next. But know this, no matter what happens, I am coming back to you." Riker's expression softened, the fierce Alpha giving way to the man who cherished her too deeply to let fear nestle between them. "Then I will hold you to that promise," he said softly, brushing the back of his fingers against her cheek, igniting a spark of warmth. "And I'll be waiting." With a heavy heart, Lyra stepped back from Riker, feeling the magic between them pulse with urgency. She had no idea what awaited her, but she knew she had to confront Fenton. With a final nod to her pack, she turned to the trees, taking a deep breath as she slipped into the shadows of the Silver Moon territory. ******. The night air hung thick with tension as Lyra ventured deeper into the Silver Moon territory. The trees loomed like sentinels, their whispers surrounding her in a chorus of anxious anticipation. The moon hung high, casting beams of silver that guided her through the tangled underbrush, illuminating the path before her. But as she approached the familiar clearing where her father often held court, her heart sank. The echoes of her childhood, the laughter, the joy were buried under a heavy cloak of fear and tyranny. She could feel the weight of her father's expectations pressing against her chest, a familiar suffocation that had haunted her for too long. As she stepped into the clearing, her breath hitched at the sight of her father, Fenton, flanked by his most loyal warriors. His eyes, cold and calculating, settled on her like a hawk assessing its prey. "Lyra," he said, his voice a rough growl that sent shivers down her spine. "You return, but you are not welcome here." "Father, I need to speak to you," she said, trying to keep her voice steady. "I am not here to fight." "Then you're re-wasting your breath," he snapped, his eyes narrowing. "You consider yourself a traitor now, don't you? Running off to the enemy's pack, you disgrace our family with your foolish choices." Lyra's heart pounded. "I am not a traitor. I love Riker, and our bond can unite our packs," she urged, desperation rising in her chest. "We don't have to live in fear of one another. We can build something beautiful together." Fenton's laughter was hollow, echoing through the clearing like a death knell. "You think this boy can protect you? He is nothing but a savage, and you, my dear daughter, are too blinded by your infatuation to see the truth." "Maybe it's you who are blind," she shouted, the fire in her heart burning bright. "You've built your empire on fear, and I refuse to be a pawn in your game any longer. Love is my true power, and it is stronger than your control." "Silence," he roared, his voice shaking the leaves from the trees. "You will obey your father." "Not anymore," Lyra cried, her voice filled with anguish and defiance. "You've instilled only fear in our pack. It is time we embrace love instead. I will not allow your hatred to dictate my future." Fenton's eyes blazed with fury, his claws elongating as his anger took form. "You are my daughter. I will not let your foolishness ruin everything I've built. You will come home." "No." Lyra stood her ground, feeling the magic within her surge. "I will not allow you to control me any longer. I choose my destiny, and it lies with Riker and the Nightshade Pack." The air crackled with tension, the shadows around them thickening as the Silver Moon wolves bristled, uncertain of their Alpha's wrath. Fenton stepped closer, his presence looming like a storm, and Lyra felt the weight of his anger crashing down upon her. "You will regret this," he hissed, the promise of violence lacing his words. "I will never let you be with him. You belong to me." "Not any longer," she replied, her heart racing. "I am no longer your possession. I am stronger than you think, father." And with that declaration, Lyra channeled the magic of their bond, a radiant light bursting from within her, illuminating the clearing. The walls around her faltered, taken aback by the sheer force of her determination. "Lyra!" Fenton shouted, trying to reach for her, but the light enveloped her, wrapping around her like a protective shroud. "You are making a grave mistake." "No, father, I am making the right choice," she screamed, the power of her love for Riker surging through her veins, amplifying her bravery. The clearing erupted into chaos as the Silvermoon wolves recoiled, stunned by the display of magic. Lyra's heart surged, fueled by courage and the hope that she could change the tides. "I will not be afraid of you any longer," she declared, stepping forward as the barrier of magic pulsed around her, radiating strength. "I am a daughter of the Silvermoon clan, but I am also the mate of Riker, Alpha of the Nightshade Pack. You will not tear us apart." Fenton's expression twisted in rage, his fury boiling over. "You are a traitor, and I will not allow you to bring shame to our name." "I am not ashamed of love," she shouted, the power of her words shaking the ground beneath them. "Love is the true legacy we must leave behind, not fear. Join me, father. Help me unite our packs." But as Lyra stood, her heart pounding, she saw the truth of Fenton's heart reflected in his eyes. He was lost to his own hatred. And in that moment, she knew she would have to fight not just for her love, but for her father's redemption as well. The clearing trembled with unresolved tensions as Fenton let out a roar of anger. "You will pay for this, daughter. You will regret your defiance." As Fenton lunged toward her, the barrier of magic flared brightly, holding him back. Lyra felt the energy swell, fueled by her love for Riker, and she clung to the hope that this fight could save them all. "Father, listen to me," she pleaded, feeling the tears spill down her cheeks. "This is your chance to change. We can be a family again if you choose love over power." but his eyes burned with a darkness that chilled her to the bone. You are a fool, Elle.